Hey, LeBron, Kuz said that during the huddle before that final play, he called game to rookie Taylor Horton-Tucker. Not sure if you heard that, but does that surprise you, knowing Kuz and his level of confidence?
No, I didn't hear it, but it doesn't surprise me at all. We've been running a lot of ATOs in the game situations in practice, and Kuz has been the recipient of a lot of those actions, and tonight it paid off. Big time shot. I think big confidence booster for Kuz, and to know that we have another option to go down the stretch when we need to.
You said throughout the year that you've got confidence in Kuz and what his role in on this team has evolved. What have you made of this play in the bubble, and how do you think that could change things, if at all, as you guys get into the postseason games?
I think the best thing about the time that we had off is Kuz got an opportunity to get healthy. He was hampered with his foot injury, ankle injury throughout a lot of the season, so he was always playing catch up. Allowed himself to get healthy, and he put a lot of work, and his confidence is just soaring. He's playing some good ball, but more importantly, defensively, he's just been locked in. And just taking a challenge on any given night, no matter if it's his opponent or anyone is scoring, it doesn't matter. He's taking a challenge, and that's a step in the right direction of his growth.
Hey, LeBron, it's Dave. Obviously, Kuz hit the big shot, but it started with you finding AD and AD handing it off to him, and obviously Frank had to give you guys that play. What have you seen from Frank in terms of his playbook and the technical stuff that he's given you to work with, and the stuff that maybe you'll be able to go even deeper into the playbook in the playoffs with?
Well, I mean, every game and every situation will have be different. So we have to be able to be multi-dimensional with our offense, with our defense, to be able to make things on the fly, change things up if need be. So tonight calls for that. It was a scrappy Denver team, and even though they didn't play a lot of their big guys, down the stretch, that team still is well coached. Mike Malone is one of my favorite, coaches, one of my favorite guys in the NBA. But to have that playbook, that arsenal, that array of plays that we know we can go to late in the game, it works well for our team, and that's why we practice it. That's why we talk about it, and that's where you go over it, so you can have it engulfed in your mind to when that situation arises, and you're able to just fall back on the training that you had with it.
Allie.
Taylor. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being playoff ready, where are you guys?
I don't know. I don't think we're at 10, and we shouldn't be at 10 because it's a different type of preparation that goes into a playoff game. You spend hours and hours on teams because you're going to be locked in with them at least for 4 games. Throughout a regular season or throughout these 8 games, you really just have maybe a day, maybe not even a full day, to just kind of lock in on the team, and then you start preparing for the next team. So me personally, as far as mentally, I'm not in playoff mode. Physically, I'm getting there. I feel like my legs are gotten better and better. My game has improved more and more. I'm getting more and more comfortable with the bubble. But as far as the mental side of it, I'm not there personally. I don't think our team is there personally, but we will be. It's a different type of mindset that you have to be in, and but you don't want to jump into it before you actually get there, because it takes a lot of energy, a lot of effort.
How do you get there?
Well, I mean, once we know who we're playing, obviously we're going to wait on that and see what happens. Then you start to lock in on your opponent. But you build good habits along the way. We have the habits, so we are ready for the playoffs. If the playoffs started tomorrow, we'd be ready for it, But as far as the mental side, you have to, and you can't really lock in on your opponent until you know your opponent. So there's another level to playoff basketball. But we've worked our habits throughout the whole season, and we've prepared ourselves for the playoffs, and we'll be ready for it when it comes.
Tanisha.
Bill.
Bill sleep.
All right, then we're going to jump back and take Tanya on this end. Tanya.
So Allie Clifton back there asked Kuz about, I think Bol was near him. She asked him about shooting over him, and Kuz said, "I think Jesus could be in front of me and I'll still shoot." Is that the Kuz you know?
Do I have to answer that question? Kuz is a confident kid, confident young man, and I'm happy to have him on our side. You have that confidence, and he goes on and just plays. He's worked a lot, like I said. He's still young, and it's crazy. He's only in his third year, but he's gotten better. His game is starting to slow down. He's starting to see the game at a pace which works not only for himself but works for our team. But confident player, and you got to have confidence to be able to take a shot like that and make it.
He's always had that confidence. Is he starting to earn your confidence? Not just yours, but his teammates' confidence, you think?
No, he's our. In order for us to win a championship, he has to be our third best player. And if I'm struggling or if AD's struggling, he has to be our second best player, any given night. It's just we can't win a championship if Kuz doesn't play well.
Okay, we're gonna try Bill again, please.
Hey, you got me this time?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. LeBron, you guys have been pretty steadfast over these last several games that the things that weren't going right would eventually start going right. The shots would be falling and all of that. Was it important to have a game like this where you did shoot it well from three, where a lot of guys got going, where you had several guys off the bench contributing in different ways? Was it important to have one of those before the playoffs get here?
I don't want to say it was important, but we're a team that believe in the law of averages. We shot the ball extremely well this whole season, and we know it's only a matter of time before we got it going. One thing about us, we're going to trust the pass, trust body movement, and when you're sharing the ball, there's always good energy behind that. We didn't take a lot of forced shots tonight from the exterior. A lot of them came off dribble penetration or just kickouts from the post to swing opportunities, early transition. Guys was just in a really good rhythm. So, but it was definitely great to see some of our shots from the exterior, go in tonight and even down the stretch. DG hit two big threes down the stretch. Obviously, Kuz was big, and then I try to fill in, get a good feel for my shot as well. So it was definitely a good night for us on the perimeter.
All right, last two questions. Kyle Goon.
Hedging between Tanya's question and Bill's question, you talk about the importance of Kuz as your third best player. Was it important here in the bubble to have a game where you, Kuz, AD, all going on offense on one night, all scoring 25-plus points?
Well, we don't talk about that. We don't discuss it. You let the game dictate itself. Tonight was one of those games. It happened organically. It was not forced by not myself, not Kuz, and not AD. And we just try to implement our imprint on the game. And was able to do that throughout 48 minutes.
And last question, Joe Barton.
You were talking about how the habits are there. And I was actually going to ask the total opposite of that if the time away and now being here in the bubble had shown that any momentum you had built before the pandemic doesn't carry over, and it's kind of like a new season. You're kind of have to make whatever you're gonna do in the playoffs, you have to make it new.
So your question is, let me understand your question.
Do you feel that way? Do you feel like have you come to learn that this is basically a new short season as compared to
it's definitely a different season. Obviously you pick back up on the habits that we built over the, I don't know, for 5 months, maybe 5 months, but it feels like a different season. Just because of the circumstances, everything, and pretty much in 2020 has felt different. And I've stated that before, everything from on the floor to off the floor and everything in between. So, but we're here, and the playoffs is a little over a week away. And we look forward to the opportunity to get better, throughout this week. We have one more game. We got a lot of film sessions. We got some practice time, and will we be the team that we want to be in game one of the first round? That we were, when we stopped. I don't think so, but I think we're gonna be, we'll get better and better as the games go on, and as the first quarter go on, the second quarter we start to get more and more feel. We're better on ball club. We got a lot of guys who've been in the postseason and has been a part of that type of atmosphere. Even though it's not without fans, so that'll be different. But we know, playoff basketball is no mistakes, and when you make mistakes, teams make you pay for it, no matter if it's the first round, second, conference finals, or finals. So have to be locked in, and there's no the best thing about it here. There's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no distractions. There's no distractions.